Artists are truth tellers and purveyors of deep wisdom. And these guys aren't even old enough to drink.
All right, here we go.
This is Swan Dive.
Here we go.
From the Peacock and Park Studios in Jacksonville, Florida, and from Playa Grande, Costa Rica, this is another edition of Swan Dive. This here's Ron Rothberg. That there is Stuart Sheldon. Hello, everyone. How are you guys?
We all went to art school together, and we had been thinking about the fact that we have these skills and we would like to make a profession out of it. And we had been going to businesses, trying to get commissions to get paid to make murals. And it wasn't really working out because we didn't have the experience, so we couldn't get the jobs, so we couldn't get the experience. And then through a whole series of events, we ended up working with you to do this long fence in front of your home recording studio.
We started with 6 artists, and we sort of consolidated and figured out like what we want to do along this path, and we all sort of came together and like, do we want to do this? Do we want to commit to this? We're hours and hours and hours into a day. Like me, we all have jobs to a certain extent where it's like back-to-back painting, then working, and then painting, getting little sleeps, taking naps in the day when you can, finding ways to eat food, and it's just like trying to consolidate what is important to us. And this has definitely proved to be one of the most important and defining factors and moments of our careers and just our human being timelines, learning how to be a human being. I used to live in a very suburban neighborhood on the outskirts of town, which was very much so like mind your own business. You don't really talk to your neighbors too much. And for the first time in my life, I've seen public art bring in people from all around, more than just the block that we're painting on, from all around Riverside, and even people who don't even live on Riverside because they've heard about it, and they're communicating with each other and with us, and it promotes conversation, it promotes that connection, it promotes that community in quarantine that we've all been aching for.
Absolutely. I think this has been a really good learning experience for all of us, not only about like interacting with the public and hearing kind of their responses and their connections from it, but also with each other and with ourselves, and learning how to like respectfully communicate and learning about where everyone is at each time and kind of what they're bringing to it. And kind of starting, like, we all kind of fell into this with so much momentum, whether it was coming and painting in the mornings or staying late or setting up tents to paint in the rain.
Kind of pissed off, man. This humidity's with the translucency of my paint. Yeah. But other than that, I'm pretty good.
Like, it's been amazing, and it's been such like a communal event. And it goes beyond like the people here. It's the people walking by telling us about how it's impacted their families or how it's impacted like their morning walks and how it's changed their their view on the neighborhood and where they stand with that.
The response has definitely been a lot more intense than I or any of us were ever really expecting, only because we went into it thinking like we just wanted to paint this wall, we just wanted to do a community project. It was just like this big fence, and it ended up being such like a landmark part of our quarantine or our time here during the summer, because the entirety of the neighborhood is just coming out, and it's been exhilarating to see people slow down their cars and be like, this is amazing. Even in the beginning planning stages, right when we put graphite to the wall, people started stopping by and they were curious. We're all cooped up in our homes, we want to know what's going on right outside of our doorstep.
We've all really only organized individual projects or stuff, painting alone in my room or whatever. And it was the first time we've really come together and said, okay, now we're going to organize 6 artists painting a 140-foot fence. And there's so many learning experiences in that. And just small things about technique, changing the way you paint to scale it up. Things about the different surfaces that you're painting on. Obviously, a fence versus a primed canvas is very different. And just in general, we weren't sure what would come after this, and it's been the best thing we could hope for, that we have, we've had a nightclub, we've had a coffee shop, all these people asking us for murals now, and we're just like, okay, we have a mural painting business now. Now we have to organize this next level of ourselves and the next level of professionalism to keep doing what we've been doing at just the next level overall and step up our game.
The most important part is that we're speaking to each other without using the same language, without having to go to school to learn how to understand things. Whenever you are painting or singing or recording anything like that, what it's doing is just capturing that moment and holding on to that vibration and just transferring that to whatever anyone else can perceive that as. So obviously we all have different perceptions of what this will mean to us and everything. We will all have different connections to that, but the most important part is that we connect.
I don't think it's been mentioned, but the mural we're working on right now is going to be Jacksonville's first painted and augmented mural for like augmented reality and animated. It's Jacksonville's first, and we want to sort of continue with that same energy and applying different things to the art that we can create that can be innovative, interesting, and more interactive, because interaction between the participant and artist is so important, and I think that ties into my why or our why. It's just the reason we're doing this is to continue that conversation, like kill the spectatorship that's prevalent in art, in what we perceive as art in today, and create that connection between audience and artists and blur that line, because technically there is no strict audience and artists, because we are all artists, and I want to continue with trying to put in that interactive, participatory message within the art that we create.
Last day, what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
It's been really fun, but I'm happy to see it done.
It's been a wonderful experience, man, all around. Just being out here all the time, talking to people as they're coming up, and just everything about this whole experience has been awesome.
So you know how there's teeth in the mandala? See ya. I didn't notice that until I took my mom to
How are you feeling, Spider?
I'm feeling pretty good, Ty. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good.
Where will your leap take you? The unfamiliar world offers hidden wisdom. Even when alone, we are never lost. Under watchful eye, these trees have been here before any of my ancestors were. What do they have to tell us about our world?
But stay woke, niggas creeping, they gon' find you. Feel like I'm going in circles, I'm going through hurdles. I came out my shell like a turtle, I'm sipping my tea and it's hard, but I'm riding my life in my journal. Yeah, to my conscience, to my obvious. Yes, you gotta fuck with your what's wrong about weaknesses? I'm going in today. Oh, yeah. Keep them open, never close your eyes.
What do I love about the mural? Yeah. The colorful artwork, the fact that you guys put your heart and soul into painting something like this. This isn't just come across everyday Joe Schmo work you see painting. It's time and effort put into that, I'll tell you that now.
We like the psychedelic caladium, the very cool bark treatment, the resurrection fern in the bark.
What's your favorite part of the mural?
Super hard. It's all great. Either that one or the swan.
Yeah. Why do you like those parts?
I just like how the swan's very beautiful. It looks realistic. And I love how the water splashed like it's jumping in.
We were painting, and a car drove by. Like usually they're all like slowing down, and there was a little girl in the car seat, and I hear her scream through the car window, "That's pretty!" And Ramses and I, or Spider and I, start laughing, and Spider stops painting, comes over to me, and he's like, "Dude, like that's why we're doing this. Like this is for that little girl." And a few days later, we had a similar experience of a father was walking by, walking on the sidewalk with his little daughter in his hands, and he said, "That's a mural." And she goes, "Moo," and he's like, "Mural." And we were literally that girl's first mural. And like she learned that word looking at this, and just we were musing over like the kids growing up in this neighborhood will see this walking to school every day, and just that it can become that they'll grow up around that beauty and know that is to be proud of their community and that be proud of this place, that it's not just a random street, but this is that beautiful place with that image.
Every project that we have is going to be its own test. It's going to be its own school. We're going to be our own teachers and our own students and everything. So everything that we take away from this, not even just the tangible elements such as, you know, our physical kind of mark left on this fence, or even the leftover paint that we have to be able to do other murals. Every bit of that's going to teach us to kind of do it more effectively in the future. And by that I mean we're going to be able to break that barrier of communication where people, you know, feel open and comfortable enough to say, you know, I want you to paint my fence, or even I want to paint my own fence. You know, everyone has their own way of doing art and everything. So to see them be inspired to do that just by watching us take that initiative, it's just really, really inspiring to us to kind of just keep that movement perpetuating.
That's terrific. Huh.
Hey, Jack, step back, won't you keep your paws off my